Hey friends, thanks for watching. This is another life lesson from That Helpful Dad. Now, if you like life lessons and kind of wisdom tips like this, we have a lot of them here on YouTube and also at our blog, thathelpfuldad.com. So we also have different resources, free ebooks, and you can sign up to get the wisdom emailed you each week. So make sure you check that out. But today we want to talk about three simple ways that you can choose to do something good today. I want to give you kind of what this concept is, and then kind of give you three ideas. And so let's get started, right? So the first kind of life lesson, so to speak, is don't just wish to be helpful, actually do something good today. So who are the teachers that are going to teach us this wisdom? Well, the first is by Dr. Seuss. You can see the quote right here. Unless someone cares a whole awful lot, it's not going to get better. It's not. Right? So the wisdom that I often share on YouTube and on the blog, I don't create a lot of it. I look at myself as kind of more of a curator of helpful tips about life. I share lots of tips about practical solutions to real life problems. And so I look at my job as kind of gathering this wisdom and bringing it to your attention. And so we've got a quote from Dr. Seuss that I shared with you, and then I've got some quotes from Robert Frost and William Penn. But really, doing good starts with a choice. I know this kind of sounds cliche, but really, one of my favorite poems ever read was The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost, right? And here's a picture that kind of encapsulates that. One piece of advice I got about poetry long ago was that to truly understand and appreciate a poem, you got to read it at least 7 times to really unlock its mysteries. Now, whether that's true or not, I can't tell you because I never really did that, and maybe that's a subject for another time. But it kind of sounds a little bit to me like it's the wisdom of J. Evans Pritchard, Ph.D. Fans of Dead Poet Society will get that one there. So the good news here with Robert Frost's poem is you don't have to read it 7 times to appreciate its wisdom. I promise you, the very first time you read it or hear it, you will like it because it's that good. And before we go on to the poem, I want to point out to you that if you want this information in written form, I have the article in written form on my blog. So everything I'm saying to you here is actually also in written form, including being able to see the poem. But the poem does apply directly to our wisdom, so I really want to share it to you in full, and it's kind of short, so bear with me here, okay? So, two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveler. Long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that, the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this tale with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Okay, look, I just butchered that poem, I know it. So go to my blog and read it for yourself in your own voice. But the point is this: we all have two roads in life, and we all have a choice. Life is full of different paths to choose from. Some of those paths will lead you to do something that's good to help others, and others may see you kind of deferring that helping hand to another day. More often than not, you're going to have every intention of returning to those other roads and doing something good. But I think if you're honest with yourself, you're going to discover that most of the time, in spite of your best intentions, you never actually do return to that other path. And thus you miss out on a lot of opportunities to be helpful. Why is that? Because just like Robert Frost wrote, way leads on to way and life takes you elsewhere. So what I would submit to you is this: when we miss the opportunity to do something good, we diminish the part that we can play in the great play of life. Don't let that happen to you. So let's make the world a better place, right? Let's focus on this. Here's some other wisdom, and this is wisdom from William Penn. And he said this: I expect to pass through this world but once. Any good that I can do or kindness that I can show to my fellow creature, let me do it now. Let me not defer it or neglect it, for I shall not pass this way again. I first heard those words 30 years ago, and that quote has always stuck with me. I repeat it to myself when I'm out and about running errands or I'm at work, because it reminds me to be on the lookout, to be actively looking to help people. Because more often than not, I need a little bit of an extra kick to remind myself to do good and to take action instead of just thinking about it, to actually do it. So let's talk about 3 ways that you can actually do good. Just 3 quick ideas here, right? And maybe these sound cliche, but it's important to kind of remind ourselves of them. You're on the elevator, right? You see a stranger and they seem kind of a little bit sad or quiet. Oh, God forbid you talk to someone in an elevator, right? Maybe you do. Maybe a single kind word from you, a hello, will turn their day from gloomy to bright. Maybe even save their life. Who knows what they were thinking about doing, right? And what did that hello or that, kind word cost you? Nothing. And you may never know the outcome of that kindness that you showed to that person, but to the other person it could mean the world, right? So that's one simple way. Here's another one. You're in a store parking lot. You see an older person struggling to put their groceries in the car. You see it because you're paying attention, right? Take a moment out of your day and just help them load their bags, right? Or maybe, you do that and then a passerby sees you and then they get inspired to help somebody else later in the day. Who knows? Maybe someone else will see them and they'll do the same, and so on and so forth, right? You're paying it forward, right? Suddenly, something that you did that started with a small act of kindness, you made the world a better place, right? That's number 2. Here's number 3. Maybe you're still in school, you're a student, you're in class, and you see someone really struggling, but nobody seems to know why or care. And what nobody knows, maybe that classmate's family doesn't have enough money to put food on the table, not enough food anyway. And so maybe that person is hungry. Maybe they're really starving. Who knows, right? And you see your classmate at the lunch table, and you see how maybe they look at the food, kind of sideways. Maybe you break your sandwich in half quietly and you just slide it over to them. No one has to know. Your classmate smiles and eats. Suddenly the world is a better place. And so is yours, too. You get the idea. This is not rocket science. I'm sure you have lots of examples. And by the way, if you do, please share them with me. I love to do them. I love to get ideas. I read every comment that comes in, right? So share them with me. Love to hear what you have to say. But the point is this. Don't wait to do your good deeds. Do them now. Remember, there is no guarantee in life, right? There's no guarantee in life for you or the other person that you're ever going to meet again. The world is constantly moving. Take every opportunity to do something good today. You make the world a better place, and you feel good about yourself too. So do you like life lessons like this? I mean, if you do, I've got this blog here, That Helpful Dad. We got lots of life lessons like this. We also have lots of just kind of practical solutions that aren't quite so deep. So check that out. Subscribe to the blog. Subscribe to me here on YouTube. Like I said, we've got a lot of free ebooks and tools that we're giving away. And most of all, I'm hopeful that this lesson is helpful to you, because that's really what it's all about. We're trying to live a legacy life, and we can do that by helping each other. Thanks for watching, and God bless you.